Hello guys and gals, Buffalo here. Got the Maverick 88 back out again today. You guys have seen it here on the channel before. Don't know if you've seen it since I added that side saddle. I got me a 6-round side saddle for it. And I put that Olight Valkyrie PL2 light on there. That's a 1200 lumen light and it will light the night up. For those that don't know what the Maverick is, it's a budget shotgun made by Mossberg. This one has the 20-inch barrel, 8-round capacity in the magazine tube if you're shooting 2 3/4-inch shells. Just been a very good shotgun. It's actually my bedside shotgun. A few years back, I tried to shoot some of the mini shells, the shorty shells in it, and I'd get 2 or 3 rounds shot, and then one would come out of the magazine tube and kind of stand up on its end and try to go into the chamber sideways. It was just a real mess. It wasn't much fun because I was fighting those malfunctions all the time. But I'm going to try that again today because I watched one of my buddy Scott, the Kentucky Hillbilly. I watched one of his videos, and I'll have his video linked in the description of this one if you guys would like to check him out. He's a real guy, man. He lays it out there and just tells it like he sees it. Just the way I like to watch on a YouTube channel. But he did a video running one of these Opsol mini clips, and that caused me to remember trying to run those mini shells in this shotgun. So I bought me one thanks to his video. And all it is just a little chunk of rubber. Let's see it's got the Texas logo on it there. A little chunk of rubber that goes up in the loading gate and makes the loading gate smaller to fit those little shorty shells. Just give it a squeeze, push it up in there and push it back toward the trigger. And that's all there is to it. And with his, he was able to run the fire out of those mini shells, so it made me want to try it again. Those mini shells are low recoil. They're a lot of fun on the range. I've got one sitting here next to some of the other lengths of shotgun shells. I've got a 3.5-inch, 3-inch, a 2 3/4-inch, and then the shorty shell just sitting there together so you can see the size difference. Now this Maverick 88 won't shoot those 3.5-inch shells, but it will shoot the 3-inch and the 2 3/4 just fine. But hopefully with this mini plug, we'll be able to run those shorties as well. And I've got some different types of the shorties here. This is a Slug Agula mini shell lead slug, 1250 feet per second. Here's a look at it. You can see the slug there. And I cut one of these open to give you guys a better look at it. You can see that slug's got a hollow base and it just sits right on top of that plastic wad like that. I've also got some of this Buckshot. This is also Agula. It has 7 number 4 Buckshot in it and 4 number 1 Buckshot in it. Here's a look at it, though there's not much to see there. It's just crimped up. But I did cut one of these open as well so that you guys could have a look at it. And as you can see, there are 2 shot sizes in there, the number 4 and the number 1. I've also got some Agula 7.5 shot Birdshot. I've also got some Federal here. There's several manufacturers that make these shorty shells. This just happens to be what I have. This is number 8 shot. It's got a clear overcard on it, so you can actually see the Birdshot in there. Look at those little things. Can't help but make me smile every time I see one of those little shotgun shells. And then I got some Federal number 4 buck. This has 15 pellets of number 4 Buckshot in it. It also has the clear overshot wad. You can see those number 4 pellets in there, along with the buffering compound. That's all that white that you're seeing is the buffer. I didn't cut any of these open. You get the idea with the two that I did cut open. Now, besides the low recoil and just the fun factor, in a pump or any magazine tube-fed shotgun, like a pump, I'm not sure if they'll run the semi-auto or not, but you're stacking your shells end to end in your magazine tube. And as I mentioned earlier, I can get 8 of the 2 3/4 inch in this shotgun. Well, with the minis, I can get 12 in the tube. If I wanted to, that would give me 12 plus 1. That's 13 rounds out of this shotgun. That's pretty good capacity for a shotgun. So I haven't shot with this yet. The only thing left to do is to get down to the range and see if it'll run. Let's go try it out. I've got us 12 of these Birdshot rounds loaded up. I've got us 12 water jugs sitting along the backstop. Now, I am shooting over the backstop, but I have been back in there. It's clear. And remember, this is Birdshot. It's not going to travel far. People shoot at each other at dove shoots all day. If you've ever been to a dove shoot, Birdshot doesn't travel far. It'll travel maybe a couple hundred yards and it just peppers to the ground. I don't know how many times I've been shot at a dove shoot. Just by, when I mean shot, just by that Birdshot raining down. So no worries, we're clear back there. Let's see if these will cycle. Yep, they'll cycle. I got that barrel hot. Look at that. Now I've got it loaded up with Buckshot, so I will be shooting into the backstop. This is that Buckshot that had the mixture of the number 4 and the number 1 buck. Let's pattern one of these and see what it looks like. You can see that would be a pretty bad day. I didn't push it back there quite to 7 yards. We're probably at 5 yards now. So let's finish this up. That's more like it. What about some headshots? That's one well-ventilated bogeyman. That sun is crazy bright. I'm sure it's making for a horrible video, but that's all right. It feels pretty good. I'm ready for spring. But I'm back here at about the 50-yard line to those steel targets on the backstop. And I've got the magazine tube loaded up with those slugs, those mini slugs. And for some reason, it holds 12 of the Buckshot and Birdshot, but I could only get 11 of the slugs in here. They must be slightly longer. Let's see if I can make any hits. I don't know if I can or not. Oh yeah. those are pretty dang accurate. Man, that barrel got hot. Those are pretty dang accurate for short little slugs. You would think that's a 3-inch chamber. You'd think with all that wiggle room in that chamber before it gets to the actual bore that it would make for some sloppy accuracy. I think I hit every one of those. And it didn't seem like I was ever going to run out. I thought I was out 2 or 3 times. Had to look in there and I was still chambered up. So that's pretty dang cool. That was a lot of fun out here on the range today. It's starting to get late now, the sun's setting, so I'm gonna have to close this video out. But it's hard to believe that little chunk of rubber caused this gun to cycle those 100%, where before it wouldn't cycle more than 2 or 3 at a time, and I'd have to clear a malfunction. So that's pretty amazing. Now, the shots you saw me take on this video, that's the only experience I have with this little mini clip. So for now, I'm going to stick with the tried and true 2 3/4 inch for home defense, and I'm going to save the mini shells for the range. Not saying they wouldn't get the job done at all. They're mean little shells, pretty wicked little shells. Those slugs amazed me. That was 50 yards. I know that's not real far, but I've heard people complain that their 2 3/4 inch slugs were giving them poor accuracy out of a 3-inch chamber like this one because of that 1/4 inch jump. Well, if that's the case, those mini shotgun shells, those mini slugs, should have been horrible. And I kind of expected them to be. That's why I only shot at 50 yards. But I think I made every hit at 50 yards. That was, and the first time I've ever shot them. So that was pretty impressive, at least to me. Maybe not to you guys, but at least to me. Now, you notice I've got 2 3/4 inch in this side saddle. And that makes me bring up something that Scott covered in his video. If you wanted to run those and you ran empty, you could always just pop that rubber plug out and start feeding off your side saddle. I mean, that's not an issue. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep this in my bug out bag, my survival bag, and I can keep a big bag of that buckshot, those mini shells. I can keep a lot more of them in the same size pack as I could these. So I can haul a lot more buckshot and use this little mini clip to cycle it in this shotgun if I had to. So for now, that's going to be my purpose for it. And I may try some more stuff. I may do another video on these later on after I get a feel for how long this plug is going to last and how reliable it's going to be over long term. It was very reliable in today's video. That's all I can say about that. But I want to thank you guys. Thank my Patreons, my Patreon team, patrons. Is that what you're called, patrons? But that's how I got the mini shells, through my Patreon account. So I always appreciate you guys. Every just $1 a month, you wouldn't believe. I think I've got 80 some members now. You wouldn't believe how much that helps me keep the videos rolling. So I appreciate each and every one of you guys. That's all I got, and I'll talk with you guys again soon.